Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be editing some of the photos I took while I was on a walk with my friend Kadim. So let's jump right in. Here we have a photo of a bench. I like this frame. I know, for the sole reason of I like it that the bench was placed against the tree. First we're going to remove some of these distractions. So like this bottle, the guy in the background, and some other debris bits and stuff that's there. Okay, now that that's done, let's go in and start editing. First I like to use one of my presets as a base, then I go in and tweak the colors, the contrast, however suits the mood that I feel for the photo, or what I thought of when I took the shot initially. So let's jump into that right now. So we're gonna apply Wolfsbane. Wolfsbane is very high contrasty. I like the way it handles the greens. So right now we're going to lower the exposure a bit, drop some of the highlights, bring back some of the details, up the whites. I'll also darken this a bit. So now that we're there, let's crop it so I can see how it looks. I like it right about, I want some of the treetop. Okay, right about here. First, let's fix that contrast. It's a little dark. Now it's a bit bright. Okay, I think I want to keep some of that dark moody contrast. Okay, let's do some masks. First we'll go with a linear gradient, just darkening the foreground a bit, increase the clarity. Let's mess around with the colors. We'll get back to the mask after. Usually I just jump around when I'm editing. It's not one full slide by slide. I just jump to tweak based on what happens when I tweak something and see how that works. I don't like the way that the background is so bright. So let's bring down the brightness a tad like that. The greens are desaturated a bit. I don't really like greens in my photos. They always seem to look weird to me. Probably personal preference. Bring that down a touch. Okay, back to the mask. I want to bring back some more details in the leaf. So let's bump up the exposure. I come down and use some details. I'll give it a little filmic look. Come back here, bring up some whites, increase the contrast, bring up a bit of shadows. Let's warm it up a bit. Okay, I want to bring attention to the bench. Let's use a radial gradient, put it around the bench, and let's increase the exposure on the bench a bit. Some clarity, a bit of texture, some whites up. Let's see how this looks to me now. It looks nice, but let's fix that linear gradient at the top. A bit too bright. Back a tad. Okay, let's see if this light was a bit on. But this did look a bit orange on the day. Just want to bring that back a bit. Let's see if we can make that look like that. Warm light. See how that looks. Not the best, but it'll work. I'm gonna bring out some of the oranges. So let's go back to the HSL. Bring up the oranges a bit. Doesn't seem to be much red, so we'll bring it up a bit. Bring back some of the oranges. Drop the luminance a bit more. The yellows. Yeah, I think this is where I'm gonna stay with this. This looks fine. I like the oranges. I like the way it pops against the dark, moody greens that we have going on. Moving on to the next one. This is a picture of the chapel that you see behind of that photo with the bench. We were walking past and I saw it and I was like, I like this frame. Nice clear skies. Everything's well balanced actually in this one. Nothing's overexposed. Nothing is underexposed. So let's see. How do I want this to look? The white balance needs adjusting. Ooh, I like this. I like the greens in this one. So let's bring down the exposure. Actually, before that, let's adjust the white balance a bit and bring back up the exposure a bit. Let's drop the highlights to get more details of the sky. Drop some shadows and black to add that moody vibe. Bring up some whites. Increase the contrast a bit. Bring back some more warm. Okay, so effect. And add some details. A bit of a vignette like that. Not too much. Optic, enable lens correction. We'll do that so that the corners are nice and straight because this is a photo of a building. Let's go in and remove some of the distractions. Like this sign right here. Okay, okay, that looks about right. Okay, that looks better. Let's remove these as well. Ooh, that did a fantastic job. Damn, I can even tell. If I'm looking at this and I didn't know a car was there, I don't think there'll be any way to tell at all. So let's crop it in. Let's bring this in a bit, like this. Yeah, like that. Let's do some masking. Let's darken the foreground with a linear gradient to bring more focus to the building. Make the grass look a little bit. Yeah, let's bring more focus to the building itself because it's a pretty normal sky. So let's invert it, bring the feather down a bit, drop the exposure. I know we have the vignette already, but this is to add a little bit more of an emphasis like that. Okay, so let's make this building pop once again, bring up some exposure, bring some clarity, and that's about right. Bring up some white. For the sky, let's see if we can darken the sky a bit. Okay, right about there. Do some decays. Bring some temperature down a bit. Okay. Something still seems off to me. I'm going to warm the greens up a bit. I think that's the issue that I'm seeing here. Right about there. It seems fine. Bring back some of this. The orange though, want in there to pop a bit more like that. Let's also use a radial gradient on this section here. Make it pop, stand out a little bit more. Right about there. Okay, I think that's it. That's it for this one. Let's move on to the next. This was my favorite. This just looked like a movie scene to me. So let's crop it down to 2x1, straighten it. Okay. First things first, let's remove the distraction. Let's remove the license plate. I hate when it does that. Okay, let's try that again. Sometimes it does a wonderful job, and then other times very weird and confusing. I don't know what's going on. So this is one of those times. Let's do it. Remove some other stuff like these blemishes on the wall. Let's see how well this handles that. Should have gone with it softer. Should have known. So I'm gonna be doing these one by one. So enjoy. Okay, let's jump into it. I know exactly how I want this to look. Go straight into it. Yeah. Add it warm. Okay, well that's done. Let's go. Highlights down, bring back up some white, bring back some shadows down, some black down, add that moody vibe. It seems like a scene out of a movie for me. I don't know why, but that's the way I like to see it. Colors. There's not much going on with the colors. I'm satisfied. Maybe I'll bring them down a bit. Blues in the windshield. So let's take that out. A little bit of clarity. Okay, so now I'm thinking of doing some greens in the shadows, but there's two ways we could do that. We could use color grading or use the tone curve, and I'm going to use the tone curve. Let's add some greens in those shadows. Okay, so let's take away any colors that we added to the car. Let's go in and bring the saturation down. So it looks white again. Let's go in and do some of the masks that we did before. So darken the foreground, bring down the shadows, too dark, bring up the clarity a bit. Now I want to add a little light in the corner of this because of this little sunshine over here. So bring up some of the exposure, then drop the decays. Because it looks so warm in the photo, let's bring some color up to that. We have it like it's shining on the car. Bring the exposure up a bit, like it was sunset. Ooh, yeah, that looks great. And we're done with this one. Let me know down in the comments if you like it or not, and I'll bring more in the future. So leave a like, subscribe, and see you guys next time.